Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So this is the start of another reading vlog. What I originally planned to do was to do a reading vlog with new horror releases for this year. But of course, one of the books that I'm super excited about was not released this year. It was released last year. So this has just turned into a horror reading vlog. So I'm going to quickly go over the books that I want to read and a brief synopsis over each one. I will be able to give you guys a better synopsis once I actually start the books. But first up, we have Suburban Hell by Maureen Kilmer. So this one is about these group of women that live in the suburban neighborhood, and they decide to start this club called the She Shed. And in their clubhouse, a demon appears and I guess wreaks havoc on them and in the neighborhood. So I'm really excited to get to this. I have not heard anyone talk about this, mention this, haul this, anything. So hopefully this is going to be one that I enjoy because I'm really excited to read it. I love the cover of this book. And to me, it just seems like it's going to be more on the silly side of horror. So hopefully that is what I'm going to enjoy. Then wow, you can't even really see it. But then next we have Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. So this one is set in this New England town. There have been some strange disappearances that might be tied to the occult. I'm also excited to get to this, but also nervous because the only book that I really have enjoyed by Eric LaRocca is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. And that came out a while ago and it was a novella, but I ate that up. I read it in a day. I really enjoyed it. And then I read two books from him last year that came out. You've Lost a Lot of Blood and We Can Never Leave This Place. And I enjoyed one, but didn't really enjoy the other one. And even the one I enjoyed, I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. But I have seen people talk about this one, obviously, because this is a 2023 release and they have been enjoying it. So hopefully I will enjoy it as well. And then the last book that has also been making its rounds on BookTube here recently is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. So this one revolves around a gay conversion camp. And I guess some spooky things are going to happen at this camp. I've never read anything by Chuck Tingle. I've never read anything about a gay conversion camp, I don't think. So this one is going to be pretty interesting. So I actually plan to start with this one, but funny enough, I'm not even going to plan to read it until later on tonight. I have some other things that I need to do first. I have a video that I need to edit that needs to go out this week. I also have a review that I need to write. I've been trying to be better about writing reviews on Goodreads. I also have a story graph, but I don't post a link to that because I just don't hear a lot of people saying they use StoryGraph, but I also post over there. If you guys have a StoryGraph and if that's something that you guys use, I can start to link mine in my description bar so that we can follow each other. But I do need to write and post a review for Alice Feeney's newest book, Good Bad Girl, that I read. My thoughts will come later, but I need to do that. And then later on tonight is when I can get to Suburban Hell. So I will see you guys in a bit. Hey, so I actually got my book of the month box earlier than I normally get it. So I just wanted to go ahead, unbox it now so that we can see what we got. I only got 2 books because the October picks for this month were not that great. Oh yeah, I also got a extra little gift because I completed the reading challenge. I forget how many books you actually have to read in order to win your challenge for the year, but I won and I got this little book of the month plush toy. I think they had different animals and I just picked the little pig. And then it comes with a nicely done. Kudos to you for completing your challenge. So that's what I got. There's another part that I'm working on that if you actually complete 30 books, you get another prize, which I'm hoping maybe that one will be a book. Who knows? And then I got their standard bookmark. It's a different type of bookmark every month and it says, "Boo, it's me, a reading break." So there's that. And then, like I said, I only got 2 books. The first one being When I'm Dead by Hannah Morrissey. I think this was the thriller pick. It just says, one girl murdered, another one missing, and a medical examiner desperately searching for the truth in the latest Black Harbor mystery by acclaimed author Hannah Morrissey. I love the cover of this. Never heard of this author before, so hopefully this is good. Sounded good. And then I got one add-on, which is My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon. So I've read 2 books by this author. The first book that I read was The Winter People, which I absolutely loved. Great horror read for the winter if you have not picked it up. And then I read The Children on the Hill, which was my most anticipated book of last year. And I thought it was fine. It definitely wasn't as good as The Winter People. And I do have 2 of her like backlist titles, maybe 3 of her backlist titles that one of these days I'll get to. But I wanted this one because this one also sounded good. And it follows like this daughter who's going back to take care of her sick mother, I think, and like some creepy things happen. I haven't heard anyone talk about this yet. It just got released. So I wanted to go ahead and pick it up because I do like Jennifer McMahon's writing in her stories. Just with that last book, it just didn't end up in the way that I wanted it to, but I still wanted to go ahead and get her new book. Those are my book of the month picks for October. And shout out to whoever used my referral link, because I was able to get an extra book for last month. So I will leave my referral link down below again in case anybody is interested. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm back. I just wanted to do a quick update for Suburban Hell. I am 100 pages in on chapter 11. It actually reads really fast, but for this one, I gave like a really brief synopsis, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about it a little bit more now that I'm 100 pages in. So we're following these 4 women, and it's Amy, Liz, Jess, and Melissa, and they live in like this suburban neighborhood. It's really, you know, posh and like uppity, and everyone's like high class. And these 4 women they're like determined to not become like one of the PTA moms. So they get together, and every month they go to Liz's house for like a wine and movie night. Well, this particular night that they go to her house, she wants them to like build a clubhouse, so they're gonna do it at her house, and it's called like the She Shed. And so they go out to her yard and christen the spot where the She Shed is supposed to go. I think they like had these bracelets that they put on, they poured their drink on the ground, and then after that, some weird stuff starts to happen to Liz. She starts to act different. And the only person that is really taking note is Amy, and that's who we're following throughout the story. And so, yeah, it seems like she is basically possessed by a demon. Amy is trying to do everything that she can do to figure out what is going on with her and actually prove that it is some sort of demonic presence. This is, to me, it reads really fast, number one. And then it's just kind of like silly in a way. It's not really taking itself too seriously, and I'm enjoying it. It's giving me exactly what I wanted to give, just something that had like a little bit of horror but was more on the lighthearted side as well, because I don't really know how dark the other 2 books are going to be when I get to those. So I think this is going to be like a perfect balance. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Listen, Amy is better than me, because if I was with Liz and I thought that she had a demon inside of her, I just would have called a priest and would have been like, you need to handle that and let me know when you feel better, because some of the stuff that has already happened, I probably just would have moved out of the neighborhood at this point, because I'm not a demon person. The minute you say demon, or if it's like suspected to be a demon, I'm out. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. So the next time that I probably talk to you guys is when I am finished with this, and I will give you guys my final thoughts. So I finally finished Suburban Hell. I just finished it literally a few minutes ago. But before I go into that, I am going to be putting some pillows together because I made a huge mistake. So on Amazon, I was trying to look for some like fall pillows for my couch because the only couch cushions I have are literally these. And I just wanted something to go with like my fall decor. So I ordered what I thought were fall pillows. What they actually are just like pillow covers. And I did not realize that until the box arrived, because it came in this like little small box, and I was like, there's no way that there are 4 pillows in this box. And sure enough, it's just these pillow covers. I got like a few different ones, and I then had to go back and buy some pillows. So I actually have the pillows here. I'm just gonna be assembling those while I talk to you guys about this book. So like I said, I just finished Suburban Hell, and at this point, I think I'm just gonna give it a 3. I thought it was fine. It definitely, it gave me the vibes of My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. If you've read that book, then you probably know, because this book was sort of like silly to me. There were definitely like some uncomfortable moments, I guess, when they were describing their friend. So I don't remember how much I said when I was giving you guys a synopsis of the book. But so their friend Liz, these 4 girls, women, these 4 women, their friend Liz has been taken over by a demon. And the only person that really believes that she's been taken over by a demon is Amy. And so Amy is trying to do everything in her power to save her friend, while everybody else is like, I don't even care. I don't want no parts of this. Yes, something crazy is going on, but we don't need to fix it. Call a priest. I'm getting out of here. So that's actually how I would have felt. I'm not doing all that. Not for somebody that I think is being possessed by a demon. So at the point where I talked about it the last time, we really are just following these women as they are trying to help their friend Liz. They're like watching her body literally deteriorate, and they're trying to figure out how to help her, while also strange things are happening to them. They're like being possessed, or they're like home appliances are suddenly coming to life. Amy's daughter Emily is starting to see this imaginary girl, and honestly, that's where I would have drawn the line, because once kids start seeing or saying that they're seeing things, or they have imaginary friends, I no longer want any parts, because 9 times out of 10 those kids are not lying. So strange things just start happening to the women, and then they're trying to like get their husbands to believe them, and of course, the husbands are like, whatever, yeah, she's acting strange, but it'll pass. And I'm just like, really, guys, come on. Like, for once, like, take your wives seriously. So, but then this book also touches, like, on the power of friendship and on the power of motherhood. And our main character, Amy, she's also still grieving the death of her sister, who died from a drug overdose. Her sister was battling with addiction, and so she feels like because she wasn't able to help her sister, that she just has to help their friend Liz. And so we watch her as she is dealing with all of that internal struggle. So yeah, now that I'm talking about it, this is just a 3-star. It was fine. I had a fun time. Oh my gosh. Jeez, I had a fun time while I was reading it, but I don't think it's gonna be something that I'm gonna remember in the next upcoming weeks. It was just okay. Look, finally a pillow in my pillowcase. So yeah, so that is Suburban Hell. Now the next book that I am going to be reading for this vlog is going to be Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. It still really bothers me that you can't see that, but here we are. I don't know if I'm actually going to start that book tonight because it's like midday right now. I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have some other things that I need to do this afternoon, like edit some videos that need to go up this week and next week. But I also just got, I didn't just get, but I want to start the arc that I received from NetGalley for the book The Reformatory by Tanana Reed Dew. I've never read anything by this author, and this is a book that's on my most anticipated reads for this year. So I really need to get a start on that, especially because I want to read it and get my review up on Goodreads before the book is released at the end of October. So I think I'm probably gonna start that book tonight and then start Everything the Darkness Eats tomorrow. So that is where we are at with that. And here is another pillow. I have 2 more pillows that I need to, or 2 more pillowcases that I need to stuff with pillows, but I will get back to you guys after I have started Everything the Darkness Eats. Hey, so it has been a few days and I really haven't had that much time to read within these last few days. Today I have been extremely busy. So I went to work, I went and got my hair done. And then one of my friends, we went out to dinner, and let me tell you, I had the best burger I've ever had in a long time. And it came with a side of Parmesan French fries, like they had like the Parmesan and the garlic on top. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So it's kind of late right now. Not like real late, but late to me. It's like 10 o'clock and it's Thursday. So I'm gonna be going to bed soon, but I wanted to talk about Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. So I've started this. I am only 100 pages in and I'm not really vibing with this. It's less than 300 pages. There's only 224 pages. So it has taken me like a couple of days to get through 100 pages. And I have 124 more to go. But I'm gonna try to knock this out by at least tomorrow. But I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about it since I am 100 pages in. So in this town that they're in, there have been a few disappearances. I think at the beginning of the book, it's like 5 disappearances, and these people that are disappearing are elderly. They're like between 60 and 70 years old. So the town is like on high alert because of that. So then we follow like 3 different characters. So one of them is the detective who is supposed to be trying to figure out why these people are missing, but now we're getting like this side story because the detective, he's a guy, he's married to a guy, and they are facing like a lot of discrimination in their neighborhood. And so some stuff is going on with that. Then we're following this other character. His name is Ghost, and he is dealing with the tragic loss of a loved one. So he is grieving over that. Not sure how that's tied into everything. And then we have this other perspective that I don't think I'm gonna mention right now because I don't want to spoil anything. And to me, I think if I say too much about this other character, it might give some stuff away. I might mention it later by the time I'm done with the book, but right now I'm just not gonna mention anything. So, but we are following 3 different characters, and I don't know, this is just not really doing it for me because nothing is like really happening, especially like with the detective POV. I thought we were going to be following him as he's like trying to figure out what's going on, but now he's having some issues that's not related, or at least I don't think it's related right now. So it kind of feels pointless. And then the other character, Ghost, okay, we're following you grieving, but what the heck does this have to do with everything else? And like, you only have 124 pages to wrap this on up and bring all this together, and I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. I'm not really that invested with like the disappearances. To me, it just feels kind of cheesy a little bit. And you could tell like there's some religious undertones to this because it does deal with like the occult. I think that says it on the back. Yeah, like something's going on with the occult. So I'm just not sure how all of this is tying together. And it just feels like we are following 3 different characters with 3 different stories that have nothing to do with each other. So I'm just curious to see how this is all going to tie together. I really don't have much more to say than that because at this point, honestly, I'm really kind of not liking it. I almost want to DNF it, but because I only have like 100 and something pages left to go, I'm like, I might as well just go ahead and finish it. But yeah, hopefully this last half will like save itself. We shall see. So the next time that you guys see me, I will be wrapping up this book for sure. Hey guys, so I finally finished everything The Darkness Eats, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not like this. The story did not end up in the direction that I thought it was going to go, which is unfortunate. I think in the beginning, I had said that there was like 3 different perspectives that we're following, and one of them I didn't want to spoil. That's kind of wrong. So I had said that this is about these elderly people that were going missing in this town. And a couple of the chapters that we got in the beginning were from some of the missing people. But then as the story goes on, we're just really following 2 main perspectives. So we have Ghost, who was kind of like dealing with the loss of his wife, and then we have the detective. And so those are the 2 main people that we're getting this story through. It felt like we got 2 totally different stories. So we have Ghost, whose chapters are dealing directly with the missing people. And then the detective, it started off with him doing the investigation and trying to figure out what happened to these people. But then his story went off on this side tangent because him and his husband were having some trouble with their neighbors. They were being discriminated against because they were gay. And so it only focused on that situation for the majority of the book when it came to the detective. And so then by the end of the story, something horrific happened to one of the characters, and that is what made the story tie together. But I just did not understand why that had to happen the way that it did in order for the story to tie together. I think that if both of these perspectives were their own story, maybe this would have been better. Maybe this should have just been a short story collection. I don't know. It just didn't make sense with how everything tied together. So this does have some religious undertones. If that's not your thing, this probably won't work. There's a lot of homophobia, discrimination against people that are gay. There's a really bad sexual assault scene in here. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me when I'm reading. I can take it, I can read it, it's fine. But I just didn't understand why the book had to go and take such a graphic turn in order to connect both of these storylines. I didn't understand that, and I just felt like this could have been done in a different way. Or like I said, these could have just been 2 totally different stories, and then you didn't have to find a way to try to connect them. So this is definitely not one of my favorite Eric LaRocca's. I'm leaning more on giving it 2 stars because I was interested enough to keep going to see what was going to happen and how these stories were going to connect. I just did not like the outcome. So yeah, everything The Darkness Eats definitely was not a win for me. So the last book that I will be reading for this horror reading vlog is going to be Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. So again, I will check in when I have at least read about half of the book because it's really short. So I will see you guys in a bit. So I have my first update for Camp Damascus. I am exactly 100 pages in, and I'm on chapter 6. So far, I am intrigued by this. I am wanting to pick this up, but I can't necessarily say that I'm like enjoying it in the way that I want to. So this is following our main character, Rose. She lives in Montana. The community that she lives in is like really super religious. Her family is super religious. She's even herself super religious. So we're following her as she is about to complete high school. Her parents are starting to push her to try and get into a relationship. And her best friend is Isaiah, a guy, and her parents have been trying to encourage her to get a little closer to Isaiah because it's about time for her to start thinking about raising children. She is not really that interested in Isaiah. She literally just sees him as a friend. But we watch her as she is starting to have these like temptations. And these temptations are for the same sex. And she doesn't exactly know like what to do with these feelings. She doesn't know if the feelings that she is experiencing is what she thinks it is. And her temptations are starting to manifest themselves in other ways. I don't want to say what those manifestations are because I don't want to spoil anything, but they are manifesting in different ways. And so we watch her as she's trying to figure out what these random desires are that she's starting to feel. And she's also at the point that I'm at, she's also starting to recall like these suppressed memories that she's had, and she's starting to remember people that she thinks she knows. And so she's trying to figure out if what is happening to her is real. With that being said, I'm intrigued enough to keep going. What I thought this book was really going to focus on was Camp Damascus. And so far we have only gotten like maybe 2 mentions of this camp. And so this is a gay conversion camp. They have taken in like thousands of people. They have 100% conversion rate. And so like I said, it's been mentioned a couple of times, but she hasn't made it to this camp. So I just thought that this book was going to really focus on her being at this camp. I'm already 100 pages in. This is only like 240 something pages. So I'm just wondering like when we're going to get there. And I hope whenever we get there that it doesn't feel rushed. So far this is fine. Out of the 2 other books that I have read for this vlog, this is the one that I am most interested in and the one that I just want to continue to read to figure out what's going on. So the next time that I check in with you guys, I should actually be done with this because I only have like 140 something pages left. So I will see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so I just finished Camp Damascus. Now, I thought I was gonna have this finished way before now. I just had a very busy weekend and I've got some personal things going on, but I finally finished this and I really enjoyed this. I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna give this one 4 stars. So in my last clip, I was talking about how I really wanted stuff to like happen at this camp. I thought I was gonna be set at the camp. Technically, it is all about the camp. The book is surrounded by some of the stuff that happened at the camp that is now like affecting people in their lives currently. But there was only like a couple of scenes that actually took place at the camp that we saw. But I really, really, really enjoyed this. I had also mentioned that like our main character, Rose, she was starting to have like these manifestations from these temptations that she was starting to experience. So temptations being having attraction to the same sex. And so it's all about that. But this is really about the church and how the church views people who are gay. And I just loved like the conversation around how everyone that's like religious and whatnot wants you to be so involved in the church, but like how quickly the church will turn their back on you if you are not subscribing to the things that they feel like you should be. This talks a lot about how people will interpret the Bible and its teachings in whatever way fits their own narrative, which I have seen that in real life time and time again with the Bible. This also has like good conversation around what is based in like religion and what's based in science. And then the biggest thing that this talks about is a person just fighting and getting over their own demons. So I really like that. I didn't know how I was gonna feel with like it's starting to lean so heavily on the church, but I just loved all the conversations. I do think this delivers on the creep factor, but I think the scariest thing that is a part of this book is like people in the church and how it's hard to like trust anybody. And like I said, how quickly the church will turn its back on you. So I really like this one. Again, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. So just to recap the other 2 books that I talked about throughout this vlog, of course, Camp Damascus is my favorite out of the 3 books that I have chosen to read. And then we have Suburban Hell, which again, I gave this one 3 stars. I think you will enjoy this if you want to read a book that doesn't take itself too seriously, that does have some creepiness to it, but it's also like kind of campy and like funny. And if you are somebody who is really into like possessions, like demon possessions, I think this will be a good one for you. If you are somebody that's just getting into horror, this will definitely be a good one, because like I said, it's not really that scary, but there are moments. So this one, even though I'm giving it 3 stars, I still had a fun time with it. Now this one, I still, even thinking about it now, just did not understand the point of this book. And I gave it 2 stars, but I also went back on Goodreads to look at the rating, and the rating is like, last time I checked, it was like 2.8. So not a lot of people are vibing with this one. I just do not understand where Eric LaRocca was trying to go in this. I think that the 2 main plot lines that we followed, if those were just separate stories, I think that would have been good, but trying to merge them together just did not work. But if you are a Eric LaRocca fan, give this one a try. I just would not go into it with high expectations. Like, I don't know what else to say. I just did not enjoy this one, and it doesn't look like a lot of people enjoyed it either. So that is actually all that I have for you guys for this vlog. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.